Welcome to Inside the Athletic Club, where my co-founder Eric Woerner and I'm Fran Harris, talk about business, life, family, and what it takes to grow a multi-billion-dollar startup. Have a listen.
You and I are both very persistent people, right? We go about it slightly different. You might call us bulldogs, you might call us whatever you want to, right? But we're very persistent and we're consistent in the approach that we do, right? So if you and I have a conversation, hey, you're knocking that out? Okay, when are you going to do that? Friday? Okay, cool. You said Friday at 3 o'clock, Friday at 3:01. Hey man, where are you at with that? Like
Yeah.
that's the rule, right? And so this journey has been incredible, right? Mind blowing. So much great, so much fun, so many moving parts. How do you stay persistent when there's so many moving parts to be able to compartmentalize what needs to happen next, right? Because it can get overwhelming. And if you try to wrestle it all to the ground at the same time, you'll only be mediocre at everything, right? But that we're not wired that way. We want to be champions at all of it. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how do you compartmentalize on your side on how to be the champion of that business through the key of persistence? Notice she's rubbing her hands. She's got rosin going in her hands right now. If you're just listening at home, you can't see that she's got the LeBron. She's throwing the jerk up in the air.
Exactly. You've heard it. I've heard it. I don't know who originated it, but I like it. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
And like literally, when we have six different topics that are going, we got fundraising, we got indoor, outdoor, we got staff, we got executive decisions. I always go, the first thing I say is, what's the main thing? What's the main thing right now? The main thing is raising capital, if that's what it is, or the main thing is this or whatever. So I always go, keep the main thing, and then problem solve the hell out of a situation. Like my mind just fires like that. If we have something that comes up and we're like, hey, we need to figure out whatever. Like my mind just goes, okay, we can do that, but we do that, then we gotta do that. So that's how I'm able to be persistent, because I know if our mindset is right, if we solve the problems, if we put our heads together and say, okay, how do we solve this problem? We'll get there. So the end result actually fuels my persistence, because I
Mm-hmm.
know so many people drop out along the way, and that's why they don't get there. So I always have the end in mind. This is where we're going. If we can just be better problem solvers in this moment, then we'll get to our next stop on the journey, and then we'll etch ourselves closer to getting there at the end. So I'm fueled by the end goal, and I'm like, just keep going, girl.
Yeah.
Just going. Just keep moving one step. It doesn't have to be a big long jump. Take one step closer to where we want to go. And it's good to have two brains that fire, because we know, okay, you'll say something, I'll say something, then we'll get off and go, hey, I want to talk to you about this, whatever. But our brains are firing to solve that problem. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what fuels the persistence for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. The on my side, how many times have you heard somebody walk up to you and go, whatever it is you're working on? And hopefully you've never heard this from me, because I try not to say it. All right, Fran, I got good news and I got bad news. Right? How many times have you heard that in your whole life, right? I
Shut
can't think
up.
of it. I can't think of a time that I've ever said that, you know, probably in the last 5 to 10 years. No, it's just news.
Mm-hmm.
If you land $100 million deal or you lose a $100 million deal, it's just news,
Mm-hmm.
right? The ability to compartmentalize that for me is the ability to continue to move forward and have the persistence we need to continue to get to the end goal. Okay. I've heard no way more than I've ever heard yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And so the process of persistence has to be able to identify what news really is, or what the
Mm-hmm.
end goal, like you said, the end goal really is, and man, this project has been eye-opening, and it's been met with a lot of no's, but it's also been met with a lot of yeses, and it's just people get so down on a no, or so
Yep.
down on the news. Oh, it's bad news, bad news. No, there's no bad news, right? Like there's
Yep.
just news, and so I think being truthful, and honest with yourself regarding the information that you're given at the time allows you to intellectually construct a solution to the problem, which is really not even a problem. It's really just a hurdle. It's just like, oh, well, that there's an issue with that. How do we get around that? And then
Yep.
normally the system, when you're going around it, is better than what you started with, so it's really a good thing. So the bad news and the problem turned into something that's really good.
If you enjoyed this episode of Inside the Athletic Club, be sure to like, share, and comment. And don't forget to turn on notifications so that you don't miss future episodes. Until next time, love, serve, do better. We'll see you.